recliner and I'm playing my Bonza swing back and forth, just trying to figure out what he's doing. And for the first time, I pay attention to his barrel going backwards before it went forward, okay? And I had seen it before, and I just thought he was really good at flattening it, getting it on the plane, and then launching it forward. But that night, it just looked like it's happening too fast to be two moves. It had to be one move. So I had this thing called a personal pitcher in my basement. It throws wiffle balls. And I went down there that night and I just started messing around with this. And pretty soon I figured something out and I started squaring up every ball. Now, prior to this, I had trouble hitting the ball because I couldn't push the machine far enough back. It was too quick. It didn't have a speed adjustment on it. It just, whatever came, came. So I thought, well, I'm on to something. My son was an 8th grader when we started this quest. He's now a sophomore in college. That's how long we've been at it. And I called him up and I said, Brandon, I'm coming over Tuesday. I'm going to pitch batting practice to you after class. So I drove a couple hours, went to his college, pitched batting practice. And again, we don't really know what we're doing at this time, but we're trying to figure this out. And he has a real good session. So we're encouraged. In the spring of '07, he didn't get any playing time. He had a senior playing ahead of him. Pitched a little bit, Division III. Pitched a little bit. He comes home from college on May 10th, 2007. He's never hit a home run before in his life. Not in batting practice, not in Little League, never. On May 20th, we worked for 2 weeks on this, trying to figure it out. On May 24th, 2007, in a doubleheader, he hit 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple, and we're thinking, yes! We finally found something that worked. He had 7 home runs that summer and filled the gaps with doubles and triples. And this guy on the wall right there with his hands up like this, that's David Matranga. He was a minor league player at the time. I met him on the internet and he wanted to know what I taught my son. So I started teaching David remotely, never saw him in person. We would exchange video 2 or 3 times a week. And he had a couple good years, his best years. But it was in 2009 he retired. He was already 32 years old and wasn't going to get a shot at the big leagues, so he retired. Went to work for his agent. David's job was to recruit talent to the agency. So he would go out to the high schools and the colleges and the perfect games and the area codes and all the showcases and try to figure out who the prospects are and try to get them to sign up with his agent. So that all changed in 2016 when he asked me to work with Aaron Judge. Aaron had gotten called up to the Yankees in September of 16 and he stuck it up. He had 179 and struck out 42 out of 84 at-bats. And he just needed a swing change. And David told him about me, and Aaron said, okay, bring him out. So I went to Phoenix for 5 days, worked with Aaron twice a day, taught him to snap his barrel, and he did pretty good. It was kind of raw, so he was buying in. And then I got a chance to meet with him again in January of 17, and then I went to spring training and worked with him 3 days there. And the season starts. He goes 1 for 4 on the first game with a double. I go, sweet, my swing just hit a double in the big leagues. And then he goes 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. So he's 1 for 16, I believe it was. And he called me and he says, Rich, I'm rolling over everything. You're pitching me low and away, and I'm hitting a ground ball to the shortstop every time. Can you come to New York? So he flew me to New York. And we went to a private facility. And I said, okay, show me what you're doing. And he would kind of snap the bat like this, but he would roll over it like that. So no wonder, I mean, what do you expect is going to happen when your bat goes through the ball like that? So I set a ball low and away, and I said, Aaron, you got to get under this ball like you're golfing. It's going to feel like you're really swinging down and under that ball. And he started hitting the ball really well. The next day, he hits a home run while I'm in the stands. And from that point on, he hit 30 home runs and 330 before the All-Star break. Won the home run derby, rookie of the year, 52 home runs, blah, blah, blah. So my life changed in January of 18. He endorsed me on Twitter and poof, it blew up. And for 3 years, I spent traveling around the country putting on clinics. And last December, I decided to open this place and not travel so much and let you guys travel to me instead of me travel to you. So I'm just a dad like you guys who had a son, trying to help his son figure something out, and life changed. So there's three things I teach. The hand pivot point, which is the barrel being snapped back like this, and it goes on through when your body turns. A rear leg pivot point is the second thing, okay? What I noticed with Barry Bonds is his barrel would blur out behind his head. Blur in the video was telling me it's up to speed. It's fast, it's moving fast, okay? So I sold out, I want to have this blur behind my head. When I played, my blur was right there. So I wanted to have the blur back there. So I figured this out, but if I was two-legged and was trying to blur, it was like here, not there. So I figured out the only way I can get this blur back here behind me is to do it from one leg, from one weight, I guess you'd say. So the hand pivot point, the rear leg pivot point, and then stretching them between each other, getting your back stretched, and snapping your hands, and you get a sudden burst of the barrel.